So we're back again. Caught up with the lads at NITROUS Express in Wichita last week, and they were super kind to give us a mainline NITROUS Express kit for the Silverado. So perfect setup for it. We were planning on purchasing a power adder, and yeah, NITROUS is exactly what we wanted to do. So to go through with the mainline kit, it's definitely one of the entry-level systems, and in the NITROUS game, like the entry level is like one of the most competitive. So I know that Summit Racing here we are in Arlington, as well as the rest of the United States. Summit is a big distributor, as well as NITROUS Express sell direct, and VPW back home in Australia is a distributor for NITROUS Express and all their components. So usually one of their setups is, for something like this, is around $500 US. I believe Australians are around $700-800 Australian. So you really can't be beat with a power adder like this. So we're going to put it on tonight here. Bill from DFW Speed Syndicate has been so generous to lend us his shop, and he's also been flat out wrenching on the car. So it's almost probably like 11 o'clock at night. You can tell it's hot as anything here in Texas. So we're going to get to it. So what is in our mainline kit that we've got here tonight? So we've got our CNC machined, this is a NITROUS plate. So it's called a 4150 flange. It's considered a wet kit, so both NITROUS comes in on one side and fuel comes in at the other. So we're running a carbureted small block 350 and have to do very little to set it up. So we really just got to put this spacer plate underneath, and then it's good to go. And you actually see there's a lot of technology that they pack into it these days. So once upon a time, if you were running a wet kit, you'd have to jet your carb different, you'd have to play around with a heap of timing, you'd have to run like ridiculous fuels. Like the distribution that they get in these new plates, we've really only got to knock a couple of degrees off and put 91 in it. So it's not really that much work at all. So thankfully we've got a fuel system that's pretty strong, will support the flow that we need to go through. So what else do we have? So we've got the bottle brackets, so always pretty important, and then 10-pound bottle. So having a chat with Bill before, try and get ideally around 5 runs to a bottle, hopefully probably more likely 4, but we'll see where we're at. You've got your AN line, so AN little ends, braided line goes through the car, super safe. We're in a pickup truck obviously, so we don't have to worry about having any blowdowns or anything like that. We can just run it in the bed, and it's very easy. So the 2 solenoids, so being a wet system, you have your fuel and your NITROUS solenoids. Super basic, very small. As we were talking about earlier, this is an entry-level system, and it's very well suited to what we're trying to do here. A couple of other parts, so we do have a lot of fittings and stuff like that, and you'll see all those come through, a bit of thread sealant. So it's supposed to be an all-in-one, so you can really, everything that comes in the kit, you shouldn't have to really run too far to a parts store and get extra fittings and stuff and whatnot. Same with it, even go as far as some new carburetor studs to make sure that it compensates for the extra plate length. And then we've got the plate and the gasket. One thing that we did get extra, which is pretty common for people that buy the mainline or that buy these entry-level kits, is getting a gauge. So not super important. If you're running at a track that you can fill up all the time at, you can probably get away with it. We're going to be on the road quite a lot. We're going to be driving day and night. We're also racing into the night. So as you can imagine, the temperature difference between like 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the track runs hot to like 11 o'clock at night is going to be quite different. We're not running a purge solenoid. We really wanted to stick with how the mainline kit comes. We're not actually running a carb switch, so we're actually running a switch off the auto shifter. So it has its own little fire switch. So if we're finding that we need to squeeze a bit of air out of the line or take the pressure down slightly, we can actually manually bump that through the engine. So purge valves are good. It's for what we're doing on because we're only doing such a small shot, it might not be needed. So just lastly too, so when we say small, we're looking at the jet sizing that the mainline kit comes with is 100, 150, 200 and 250. So it's not that, we're not going too hard, but we will be going somewhat hard. But anyways, look forward to getting it on, and yeah, hopefully it'll be a bit of fun. I've never played with nitrous before. Probably back home in Australia, it's not really that common to have big nitrous cars. Usually a lot of dudes will run like a really small, like a Sneaky Pete, or like a really small system just to get the car up on the converter, but we're actually going to use it as a full-on power adder. So yeah, should be a bit of fun. So Bill, we've just put the kit in. There's just a few minor like things, checking the placement of the bottle, zip tying everything out of the way, just neatening everything up. So we were hoping to get to Yellow Belly tonight, unfortunately got rained out. Try and get to XRP tomorrow, but we want to try and at least give the car a couple of hits of the nitrous and kind of see where it's sitting now.
Absolutely, and since we've never tested it before, we've got the smallest pills in here. Of course, we've got the 100 shot in it, which is going to be a pretty basic, just a basic shot. You will feel it, but it's not going to kick you in the pants, but it's going to be a good hit. But what we're going to do is we're going to go out there, we're going to run it, make a first gear, second gear, no nitrous at all. Yeah. We're going to get into high gear, push the button, and we're going to hold it for about 2 seconds, just to feel. You'll feel it hit. You'll know what to expect, and not that it's going to be a problem. Although we are running on a 235 tire, so it might actually get a little squirrely. So we'll know what we're in for at that point. But I can also listen for the detonation monster and things like that we're trying to avoid. So once we do that, you'll just come off the throttle. Or come off the nitrous first. Always, if you do not have a micro switch, you have to come off the nitrous first. If you close those throttle blades before you close the switch, boom. It's boom. I mean, that's all there is to it. You'll pop an intake gasket. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to blow a motor, but you will pop intake gaskets. It will create problems. So that's why they have micro switches on them. If you guys are building these things, make sure you guys put nitrous micro switches on them. But so back off the throttle, let off the button first, then back off the throttle, and then we'll talk about what happened, and we'll go out and make another harder pull until we run out of nitrous, because that's the goal.
Sounds like a plan.
The goal is always to run out of nitrous.